All right. It is time for NFL Pregame Party Week 8 Tailgate Show. Bunch of football fanatic friends getting together. It's good to see you guys. I'm your host, Joe's Atmosphere, better known as the head coach of this show. And as usual, I've got a co-pilot. It's John Das Wolfen. What's going on, man?
Well, not a lot.
Not a lot?
Nope, just fighting a cold.
I'm sorry to hear that, brother. But speaking of cold, I really wish I was at, well, I don't know what it's called these days, but I would love to be at Mile High Stadium today to see that game. It's going to be snowing like hell during the friggin' Chiefs-Broncos game today. That's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see that. I hope they show that locally. I hope we get to see that one. My luck, I think Cincinnati's playing in the late window because they're playing San Francisco. And, you know, he went to LSU, so we're probably going to get the Bengals game. Everybody here is a huge, you know, Joe Burrow fan, so we're probably going to get that game. But let's see who's in the chat. Tim is here. Good to see you. He said this should be fun for me to watch. Oh, my God. It's John Taylor Swift Das Wolfen. Man, dude, you know, I wasn't even going to mention her name this week. I always do it to mess with him, but I wasn't even going to do it today. And look at you. You did it, Tim. This is not the video game show. We're not supposed to be trolling John today, okay? He's a guest host over here on my show, man. Come on. And we've got Gridiron Masters in the house. Howdy, man. Good to see you. He plays a lot. If you've never watched his channel, John, he plays a lot of throwback old football games. I see him play college football games from back in the day. I mean, we're talking the 32-bit cartridge games and stuff, you know. I mean, it's like that. So yeah, he plays a lot of cool games. But anyway, let's see. Tim says this is my first time ever seeing the show. Well, if you like football, you should enjoy it, man. Unfortunately, our college guy that fills us in on college is busy this morning. He may touch base with us later, but right now he's indisposed. He can't be with us, but we are going to try and show you the results from college. John, I'm going to pop this up real quick so you can scroll through it as we look at it. And I got to get this full screen for me so I can see it. Okay. So, of course, the first one that's up there. Yeah, I've got a little bit of a rant here, guys. Now, look, my friends, okay, I can understand, you know, I can understand you hating the Patriots when they were winning the Super Bowl every other year. I can understand the hate against the Kansas City Chiefs because they're winning it every other year now. But God love them. My Oklahoma Sooners have not won a fucking bowl game since before the fucking turn of the century, okay? All right? They just haven't. They make it to bowl games and then lose, okay? But for some reason, all my friends just relish blowing up my phone when Oklahoma loses, man. The only one that didn't do it yesterday was my best friend Dallas, who is so wrapped up with his Rangers in the World Series, he probably forgot about it. You know what I mean? But Knock and my brother, everybody's got to get a hold of me and let me know that Kansas upset Oklahoma yesterday. And I'm like, that's not surprising. At least one team in the Big 12 steps up and beats us every year. You know, it was you guys when you were still in the friggin' Big 12 that used to do it to us. I mean, I hated Mizzou when they fucking played us, man. But yeah, Kansas, that fucking birds fucking beat us.
I hate the Jayhawks.
Yeah, I do too. But anyway, as you see here, Penn State held serve at number 10. They beat Indiana. What a big win for Florida. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, they were playing Wake Forest, who probably can't even compete with them, but still, that's pretty big. Oregon, well, what can you say? It's been them and the Huskies all year in the Pac-10, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Or Pac-12, whatever the fuck they
This
call
will probably
themselves.
drop. This will probably drop Utah a couple of points.
Yeah. Georgia, they're rolling right along. You got them next week, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
Oy vey. I wouldn't look forward to that. BYU loses to Texas. Well, Texas did what they're supposed to do. Yep. Louisville beat that basketball school.
Yeah, they crushed Duke.
Duke. And Duke's been playing good this year, right?
Yeah, they're number 20.
Oh my God, what's getting into Notre Dame? Holy shit.
Somebody ate their Wheaties.
They are starting to, it looks like they're improving week to week.
Yeah, they are.
Good Lord. Tulane, that's
barely holds off Rice.
Barely held them off, but you know what? That's good for Tulane. It's a smaller school, man.
And USC barely held off Cal. So
look, they lost their luster when they lost last week, man. They're, hey, USC. Yeah. I've got, why I got no love for them. Lincoln Riley. I stealing my quarterback and half my team. Fuck him. Yeah. Fuck USC. Sorry, I have to use F-bombs, but I have to, put exclamation points on the fact that I can't stand them. Tennessee beat another basketball school, but that basketball school has been playing really well this year. That's a shame they couldn't pull that off. Air Force is still undefeated.
Yeah,
they have not lost. I mean, they're an independent school, but
I never.
Or no, I think they are part of a conference, aren't they? The part of the WAC, aren't they? I think.
Are they?
Yeah, I think they're the only academy that's in a conference. I have to check that out real quick. Let me see.
Well, I just thought I'd never see the day when one of the academies is nationally ranked.
Right? They have got something cooking there, man. Air Force Academy football.
Tim says it's Mountain West.
Mountain West. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're the only they're the only academy that's in a conference standings. Yeah, Mountain West. They're number 1, and UNLV is number 2, and they're nipping at their heels, man. They're one game behind them, and in conference they're both undefeated. UNLV's 3-0, and Air Force is 4-0. So yeah, that I'm watching them closely. Of course, Army, my academy got beat up by LSU last weekend. I don't know how they did this week. Hopefully they bounce back. But let's see, Washington rolling right along, man. Have they lost yet? No, they're number 5, aren't they?
Yeah.
Vanderbilt. God, they're the punching bag of the SEC, man. It's sad, and it's because they're the Ivy League school. They're the Harvard of the SEC. So but who came out of there that I loved when he played? It's Jay Cutler. Love that guy. I just thought I thought he was cool. Ohio State. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. Colorado. They lost to UCLA.
Yeah,
they've come back down to earth a little bit. Georgia Tech, big win, huh? Against
upset UNC.
Yeah, man. Wow. They beat a ranked team. That's kick ass. I always like to see Georgia Tech doing well because a good friend of ours named Colin, he went to school there. And
UNC's
He
Tar
actually went
Heels,
to
right?
school with Roman Reigns, believe it or not, when he was an All-American
cool.
linebacker. Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah.
And UNC's Tar Heels, right?
Yeah. The Tar Heels basketball school. I like to call the basketball schools what they are. I mean, I know they're ranked in football this year, but that's a basketball school, man.
And
North Carolina.
What's sure to make Jet happy? Arizona beat Oregon State.
Yeah, that's an upset.
Number 11 team.
Yes, like that one. Like that one a lot. Old Dominion and James Madison. Okay, well, I think that's enough of a look at the. I tell you, do they have next week's matchups?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at those and see if we got any big ones between the top 10 teams or anything. It doesn't look like it. Looks like a bunch of. Oh my God! Look at this. Talk about it. Hang on. Stop scrolling. Tennessee versus a basketball school. Connecticut.
Yep.
Oh my God! If they don't hang 50 on that team easily, there's something wrong. Let's see. Notre Dame and Clemson. That could be a good game, even though Clemson's not ranked. That should be a tough one. Ooh, Army versus Air Force. Come on, Black Knights. Come on, Golden Knights. Let's do it. Yes. But anyway, yeah, we'll probably get crushed like a beer can in that game. Let's see. Anything? It doesn't look like any big ones are going on.
Right there.
Oh, Missouri and Georgia. Ew. That's a big one in the Pac-12 right there. SC and Washington, but Washington should handle them. They should.
LSU and Alabama.
Yeah, that's what my brother likes to call war. Okay, he's even got a nice piece of artwork for it too. Let me see. Do I have that up here? Let me see. I think I have it. Look at this. These guys are lighting it up over here in the chat. I'm sorry, guys, but I had to be able to see the screen.
Tim said that Navy's in the AAC.
Are they? Okay. Go Air Force, beat Army. Hey, man, leave my Golden Knights alone. Leave them alone. Navy is in the American Athletic Conference. Really? Okay, that's not the ACC, though. That's the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Only Army is not in a conference. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Huh. Didn't know that. Uh-oh. Christian tells me to check my tip jar. Let me check the tip jar real quick. See what's up. Christian Delorme, our good buddy. How are you, man? Only Army is not in a conference. Yeah, well, we like to go independent. What can we say? Let's see what we got here. My man, Christian Delorme, with a $5 tip. Hang on, I'll put it in here real quick. I'll have to copy it and put it in here, but I can't copy it? That's bullshit. Hey, I know how to do it the old-fashioned way. So there. Let's see. He says, my man Christian Delorme said, let me buy you a beer, Joe. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate it. He tipped us $5. I can't highlight it with your name on it, but that's from Christian Delorme, this guy right here. Appreciate you, man. But anyway, I think that'll do it for the college portion. I really don't want to talk about college football because my undefeated Sooners lost. But I will say something else about the Sooners here in a little bit. When we get to a certain game in the NFL this week. But thank you for that, John. Appreciate that.
No problem.
I mean, guys, we cannot tell you anything about college football like Knock can. Okay? Knock watches all the games, and he's got all the info. But what I do want to start our NFL discussion about this week is last week's results, boys and girls. If you are knowledgeable about football and we're picking games last week, I don't give a shit. You got screwed. These guys, the front runners, were giving it away like it was prom night, man. Let's start with this one right here. Unbelievable that the friggin' let me blow this up a little bit. And I'm seeing highlights of the Miami game, which Oh my God. You want to talk about some atrocious refereeing? If you watch that
Wasn't
Miami-Philadelphia game, I mean, you want to talk about home cooking. It was on full display against freaking Philly. They friggin' gave Philly their first touchdown. It was ridiculous. Just handed it to them on a silver platter.
and that still wasn't as bad as the officiating in the Bucks and what
The
you call it
Bills
game.
game
Yeah, the Bucks Bills
Thursday.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're going to talk about that one too. But let's talk about these upsets last week in the NFL. Starting with what got into the Ravens. They friggin' got healthy against freaking. Does Detroit owe them money? I mean, my God, they wore them out like it was nobody's business. Now I know their defense is better than advertised, but to hold the Detroit Lions, who have been lighting everybody up, beat you guys when you were hanging your banner on opening night, and they only scored 2 field goals? What in the hell? Wow. I mean,
yeah.
oh,
Lamar Jackson finally remembered he's supposed to be a top 5 quarterback.
right, and he went off. It was ridiculous, man. How about
The
this one
Bears.
right here?
The
Who is
Bears.
this dude slinging a rock for the friggin' Bears? I have seen more teams upgrade at quarterback by having their starter go down. It's not even funny. What in the hell, man? This guy lit up the Raiders. It's crazy. I don't even know the guy's name. Do you know his name? He's playing tonight against the Chargers, though. I can't wait to watch that game because dude, we all know who the best free agent quarterback that's ever played this game is. Kurt Warner. We all know that. Yeah. But to see another one light it up like this, I mean, one game is not a trend. Let's see how he does against Bosa and that defense tonight. But
yeah. Bosa's
wow,
stiff.
I mean, what would it do for the morale of Chicago Bears fans to know that they actually have a trigger man? I mean, a team that never has a trigger man, even when they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Jim McMahon was not a great quarterback. He was just a game manager, and he knew it. He knew all he had to do was not screw it up. You know what I mean? When they went up against the Colts in the Super Bowl, who'd they have? They had Rex Grossman at quarterback. I mean, their defense has always carried this team. They've never had a good quarterback. And wow, unbelievable. That guy lit those guys up. It's crazy. Minshew, 2 backup quarterbacks right here. Minshew and friggin' Walker going toe-to-toe.
Shootout.
Yeah, because Deshaun Watson was in there for what, 3 snaps before he got hurt?
Yeah.
And I think he threw a pick, and then Walker come out there and lit it up. It's so cool to see these backups just friggin' go off, man. It really is. The Patriots got off the mat. What the hell, man? Where has this Mac Jones been all friggin' year? 29-25, they beat the Bills. Now, I got to tell you, the Bills, if they don't get their running game together, they're in trouble, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's all Josh Allen right now. And if he has a bad game, they go down. That's just all there is to it.
All it is going to be one heavy sack, and he goes down, and they're done.
Yeah. Those Buffalo fans, when he went in the 10th Thursday night, were just like, oh, my God, what happened to him? Because he had just scored a touchdown. And he went in the 10th after that touchdown when he ran in. I was like, oh, my God. Because the other Allen started warming up. Kyle Allen was warming up. I was like, oh, shit, they're about to be in trouble. But, yeah, what a bunch of upsets, man. Now, I actually picked the Giants over Washington, though, because you want to talk about another team that is upgraded at quarterback. I hate to say it. They threw all that money at Daniel Jones because of one playoff game, and he is stunk to join up. But Tyrod Taylor should have beaten Buffalo a week ago, or excuse me, 2 weeks ago, and he came out and lit up the fucking Commanders, man. He looked great. He really did. So yeah, I called that one. That's the one upset I called. That game I don't even want to talk about. I watched it. Look, the Falcons did everything they could to give the Buccaneers that game. I don't know if you watched the video I put. I love this guy that does Good Sports. I can't remember the dude's name. He's a big Broncos fan. And let's see, what do we got here? We got somebody invading. Let me get rid of these guys real quick.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, let's see. Let's see what they're saying in the chat, by the way. Gridiron Master says Oklahoma will win a bowl game sooner or later. Yeah, they will. I know they will.
No, you're missing the joke. Sooners or later.
Sooners or later. Okay. Sorry about that. And Tim says, let me blow this up a bit. That is what she said. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Tim thinks he's watching the video game stream today.
Yeah.
But anyway, that guy that does good sports, he I don't know if you watch the video or not, but he goes, look, I want to know if they've got an invisible force field at the goal line just for the Atlanta Falcons. Every time they got near a pylon, they fucked it up. It was crazy.
It's like, let's cough the ball up at the goal line.
And here are the Steelers again, winning ugly as usual, right?
A win's a win.
I mean, the Rams lit them up all day, but TJ Watt, he may be the best defensive player on any team right now. I mean, that guy is really
he's having a hell of a year.
He's having a great year. That was an ugly game. Don't even want to talk about that one. The Broncos pull out a win. Green Bay, I think Green Bay is about to go into a tailspin. They've got Minnesota coming off a big win against the 49ers. They're going to be feeling their oats. They're going to go to Green Bay and stomp a mud hole in their butt today, I think. Chargers, Chiefs. Well, what can we say about the Chargers? They screw up a free meal, and they were playing the champs, who are hard to beat in their own house. But this one here, the Dolphins-Eagles game, man. Once again, I cannot emphasize enough how atrocious the refereeing was in that game. And I'm not that guy that wants a flag on every play. But when you see a friggin' receiver's head get turned around by a face mask and they don't throw the flag when the quarterback's throwing the ball in his direction, they're looking in that direction and they don't throw the flag, I'm sorry. That shit looks criminal, you know?
Yeah, there's some more of that we'll talk about when we get to the Bucks game.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean that the roughing the passer call that got them their first touchdown. Oh my God, man, it was so horrible, so horrible. The reffing in that game was so bad, it really was. The 49ers go down to the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota, who traditionally bail. They can't buy points in a primetime game. You know, Kirk Cousins is good for 2 or 3 turnovers in a primetime game, but no. They actually outlasted these guys. They had 1 touchdown. It looked like a sure interception for the defensive back for the 49ers. I don't know if you saw that play, but my God, I thought it was a pick. And that kid, to his credit, I don't know his name. He's the guy filling in for Justin Jefferson right now, but he's a rookie, I think. He yanked that shit right away from that dude and took it to the house.
Yep. Went yoink.
Yep. It was pretty cool. Let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. See, I don't want to even go there, Tim. He said someone had money on that game talking about Miami, Philly. I mean, look, guys, if you put your tinfoil hat on and you look at who the NFL's biggest advertisers are now, it's all the betting sites. And, you know, that I've heard that argument a lot this week with some of the reffing that went on and that kind of thing. And I hope that's not the case. I really don't. I hope that is not the case.
That game just gave more ammunition for the NFL is scripted.
Yeah.
Folks that, you know, because they're like, oh, they want another Chiefs Eagles game. But the thing is, though, people say, oh, the referees call for the Chiefs. I'm sorry. I could bring up dozens of calls that were called against Chiefs that were BS or that weren't called for the Chiefs that should have been. So
go watch the tape of the Miami Philly game. Watch that.
Yeah.
If you don't watch any other game from last week, watch that one. And you are going to see some of the worst refereeing you've ever seen. I mean, me and my brother were talking about it. I was like, I haven't seen refereeing that bad since Super Bowl 40. when my guys finally made it their first Super Bowl, and we put 550 yards of offense on the Pittsburgh Steelers and only came away with 10 points. It was like they went out of the way to throw flags on us when we got inside the 20 every fucking time. And it was horrible. It was criminal. I mean, I had a house full of people, brand new fucking HD, my first HD big screen I had bought just for that game. And oh my God, it was criminal. It was totally criminal. And
well, it hasn't been, this isn't some conspiracy theory about betting, or this isn't some conspiracy theory about games being staged. Mm-hmm. This is bad officiating because all their good officials have retired.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Hochul's son is actually reffing now, I think. And he looks just like him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Gridiron Master says, anywhere there is big money, there is bound to be a big mess somewhere at some point. I hear you, man. Yeah. Absolutely. I just hope it's not to the pitch that, the conspiracy theorists think. You know what I mean? I just hope it's not that. I hope it's just guys, like you said, that aren't experienced, that they've got to work the bugs out. Because we know that they do have meetings every week, the refs do, and they call out the bad stuff. So let's hope they learn from this stuff and they do a little bit better job the rest of the season. But look, last Sunday night, it was tough for me and Rhonda to watch that game. It really was. And it's not because we're Miami biased at all. It's just, look, I call bad football when I see it.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see good football. People are paying a lot of money to see these games. And this is the top. This is the best of the best. I want to see some good stuff.
Yeah, and I will point out when the Chiefs get calls for them that were unnecessary.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's more fun to win by outperforming the other team and not having to, make up, for bad calls and stuff. That's garbage. Okay, so let's get into this week's slate of games. Let me go ahead and blow this up a little bit. I like this right here. I don't have to go away from this, I don't think. I don't have to really blow this up too much. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, wait. Of course, an ad popped up there. Okay, so
who's winning in the standings so far? Have you totaled that?
I haven't totaled that for a couple of weeks. I was busy with my I'm going to do it today during the games. Okay. I think the last time I totaled it up a couple weeks ago. I'm looking here. Yeah, you and Matt doing really well. You're one game behind me a couple weeks ago. And Knock pulling up the rear. Knock likes to pick friggin' offenses over defenses a lot of the time. That's what costs him. He's all about offense, man. He's like 7 games behind us a couple weeks ago. He might have made up for it last week, though. Who knows?
Yeah, because our picks were all
over the place. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we kept getting upset by teams that shouldn't have been upset.
No, had no business winning games. Yep. But okay, let's look at this week's slate of games. And first of all, we want to look at the results from the Thursday night game, and that's this one right here. The Buccaneers at the Bills. Boys and girls. The Bills, like I said, I watched them play. It's all Josh Allen. They have got to get something besides Josh Allen to Diggs. They've got to get something else because they're hurting. They're hurting.
And that's why I picked the Bucs because
and you know what? It wasn't a bad pick. I'll tell you 2 things at the end of that game that really pissed. First of all, here's my other Sooners rant. Baker Mayfield is not the reason why this fucking team's losing.
Nope.
Okay? He's putting balls on guys that are dropping the fucking football. They are. I don't know why. Yep. I don't know what's going on with the receivers there.
You should be talking about Baker Mayfield as a top 10 quarterback right now.
Yeah, you should be. If they just catch half the balls that they're dropping, he'd have phenomenal numbers right now. It's ridiculous, man. And I see a lot of Bucks games because when the Saints aren't playing, they always show the teams. I see Atlanta a lot. I see the Bucks a lot, and I see Carolina a lot. And the Buccaneers should be fucking 5-2. They really should be. It's this game that look, the two criminal things I saw at the end of this game was one, they're down 14. They get the touchdown to get them within a one-score game, and they go for two.
Yeah.
Why in the fuck were they going for two? Now, granted, they did it, but why? What's the thinking there? Why wouldn't you kick the extra point and put your team in a position to make up the ground? If they blow that, then they have to do a 2-point conversion in the next try.
Yeah, but let's be honest. There was a lot of bad officiating that game.
Yeah, there was.
I mean, it's like a guy getting sandwiched before the ball gets there by two defenders. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, come on. That's defensive pass interference. What are you doing? Not calling it?
Yep. Hang on one second. Let's see. Tim says, I feel like Knock could be like Kingsbury at Texas Tech. Have the offense take all the practice time and have the defense go clean the cafeteria. Tim says it'd be right back. That sounds about right, man. It really does.
Well, I'm not going to say anything about Texas Tech because that's where Mahomes came from.
That's where Mahomes came from. Knox says, that's new analytics, bro. It's recommended. The goal is not to tie, but to win. Hey, I'm all about putting my team in the best position to win. And when you're down 2 touchdowns, the goal is to make up that ground. At that point, to be in position to win. Whatever. Here's the word that says it all right there. We need to get the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers to come down there and take Sean Payton's place so Knock will be a happy camper. You know what I'm saying? So they'll be playing the analytics game. Go get your analytics, buddy. Go get it. Give me a break. But the other thing, man, what are the wide receivers doing for the Buccaneers? It's all on them as far as I'm concerned. That and the lack of a running game. Okay, it's all on Baker Mayfield's hands. And the Hail Mary pass, you couldn't have thrown. He got him in range of it, and then he throws the perfect Hail Mary pass, and it hits the ground without being touched. How in the fuck does that happen? How does that happen? I know he was just like, what have I got to do, man? What in the hell have I got to do? Baker Mayfield, if you're listening to me or watching this on a replay, you keep doing what you're doing, son. He's a gamer. I don't care what anybody says about the dude. I mean, his last year in Cleveland, 2 years ago, he was hurt the entire year and didn't sit out. He played because he knew they didn't have anybody, and he gave it up for that team, and they sent him packing. And I'm like, you know what? I hate it for him. He's been to what? This is his 3rd team since he left Cleveland now. Yeah, he went to Carolina.
I would see what
he
they
went
need
to the
to
Rams. And now he's in Tampa. Yeah,
they need to set the set all the wide receivers down and the tight ends, and tell them, all right, for every drop ball, you're gonna run a snake.
Whatever they got to do, make it cost them money. I love it.
Well, that'll work too.
Make it cost them money. They'll start catching that fucking ball. Unbelievable. It's just criminal. Yeah. It's criminal.
I actually don't think he get the prima donnas of the NFL to run snakes like they did in high school and college for screwing up.
Nope. Okay, so let's check out this week's slate of games, starting with the Texans at the Panthers. Now, Stroud is making his bid for Rookie of the Year. I think the front runners for Rookie of the Year are him and Robinson in Atlanta. I think Those well, arguably the kid playing wide receiver for the Rams is pretty good too.
Yeah. So far, CJ Stroud. I mean,
yeah, I think it's Stroud. Yeah. And the Panthers, they can't fight their way out of a wet paper bag. I think they're the front runner for Caleb Williams, and I think they're going to hold serve on that account. I really don't see any way they're going to beat Houston.
They're playing for first pick now.
Yeah, it sure seems like it. With the Bears starting to win, yeah. But I think the Texans, they're a good young football team. We said it in our draft show before the season. They in their first 2 picks, they got the foundation of their offense and their defense for the next decade. They did. And and I like what DeMeco Ryans is doing there. I liked him as a player, and I like the kind of moxie he's given this team, man. They're competing every week. So let's see. Gridiron Masters says, if you threaten a fine, I bet those wide receivers would run out there with a lacrosse net and catch those balls. You damn straight, man. They'd find some way to catch it, man. Nobody wants to lose their money. That's for sure.
Yep.
All right, so hang on. I've got to I got to mark your games down. So, hey, Knock, if you're watching, go ahead and give me your pick too, if you want to do that. If not, you can just text them to me. Let's see, John. We got. Now you had Buffalo against Tampa. I know that.
No, I didn't. I had the Bucs.
Oh, you took the Bucs? Okay.
Yeah, because I thought
he's honest. I was about to give you Buffalo, man.
No, I took the Bucs and
so you got Houston in this one, right? I got Houston.
Oh yeah, I got the Texans in this one. Yeah, I'm not betting against CJ Stroud, especially with the Panthers. So
right. Okay, next one. Now, you want to talk about a game that's hard to pick right here. The Los Angeles Rams. Let's see. Knox says, unpacking my laptop to join in a minute. Okay, bro. We'll see you then. Los Angeles Rams versus the Cowboys.
Yeah, this one was a tough one to call.
It is a tough one to call because, my brother's going to this game. He's wearing his Houghton Buccaneers Dak Prescott jersey. I don't know if you know this or not, but he played right here in my area. He played for the Houghton Buccaneers, and they're I want to say they are on the north end of town. Yeah. Houghton is. He's from here. He's a local guy, and he got one of his high school jerseys, and he's wearing that to the game today. He's a big Dak Prescott. He's like, look, I hope he keeps fucking up for Dallas. He wants them to come down to the Saints, He wants them to come to the Saints. But anyway, the reason why this is so hard to pick is you don't know which Dak you're going to get.
Nope.
I mean, with Aaron Donald, some say he's lost a step, but he's still a good defensive player. And, they've still got good players on that team. If they put pressure on him, I could easily see him throwing 3 picks in his game and LA running away with it on him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I took Dallas in this one because they're the home team, but I could easily see it going the other way. Hey, Knock, how you doing, bro?
Hey, Knock. I took the Rams, and I took the Rams.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, sir.
Knock. I took the Rams just because we don't know what Dak you're getting.
Yeah.
But the Rams still have Aaron Donald.
Yep. This is true.
All right. Who we covered so far?
Okay. The only one you missed was Houston. Houston against the Carolina Panthers, the winless Carolina Panthers.
Oh, geez. I'll go Texans.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. And you had Buffalo on Thursday night, right?
I don't know if I picked that one.
That's all right. I put down Buffalo.
I think I would have went with Bucks, though, just for funsies.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put you
can give me Bucks for that one.
I was going to give you Buffalo, but, hey. But what do you think of this one?
My picks were so crappy last week that at this point it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't. No, it's not just you. Everybody lost last week, dude. Everybody did.
I think I only got, in the 1 o'clock games, I think I only got one.
That's what we started the show off with. Since we didn't have you for the college report, we talked about all the.
Oh, you talked about Oklahoma
last week.
I'm kidding. I was there for that.
Yes, we talked about Oklahoma.
For that part.
Damn it. Ugh. But anyway, what do you think of this one? We're saying.
I think you're
what
right.
Dak
I
we're
think
gonna
Rams.
get.
This is what Dak do you get? And Rams have been playing better. Seem to be getting healthier. I guess. I don't know. I haven't paid too much to NFL lately to see what Stafford's up to.
Look, they have two. It's not just the Cooper Cup show now, dude. That rookie.
Yeah,
I've
been seeing the highlights for sure.
Of the year. So.
I just don't know how Stafford's doing, like health-wise. I mean, so when he's healthy, he's fine. But I don't know how the defense is this year. They don't have Ramsey. All they have is Donald, as far as I know. And is he getting older? I know you were just talking about that. You don't really believe.
I think he's getting more double teams now, man. That's why.
That's how it's always been.
Yeah,
it's just somebody else needs to step up. They don't have, for their one special year, they don't have Von Miller.
Right.
Right. Kind of deal. They need someone else to step up. So, and I haven't paid enough attention on the defense to know who that would be.
Right.
Man, that is a tough one.
So pretty much you're rolling the dice. Do you believe in Dak today or not? And here's the other thing. Let's not forget one of the best defensive players in the NFL is playing for the Cowboys. Number 11 is out there. That shark is out there. So,
I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go Rams.
Okay.
So it's kind of a coin toss.
With the Cowboys today.
As far as Cowboys go, there's no such thing as home field for them. So that throws that out the water.
Absolutely correct. Look, let me tell you guys something. Watch a Cowboys game and pay attention to the crowd. They're acting like they're at brunch. They don't. I mean, it's.
Oh, there's really a football game, huh? Oh, that's delightful.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
It's like the crowd at Wimbledon.
Yeah, it's.
Let me put my pinky up while I drink my tea.
Yeah, my God, it's just so weird. And I've sat in that stadium with that shit going on. It's ridiculous, dude. It really is.
The football games at Wimbledon have more fans than
there's more fan reaction, right?
And Emma Watson might be there too. So
right, look out. So anyway, the next game we have is the Minnesota Vikings.
Coming off a big win.
Coming off a huge win against arguably the best team in the NFL.
They didn't just knock off the 49ers. They knocked them out, too. Like, they cost them several players. So
yeah, they did. They did. And one thing I forgot to talk about earlier when we were talking about the upsets from last week, I say an excuse, but it sure sounds like it because we've seen this guy play. Whenever they went for the 1 yard, apparently – they didn't know it until they got on the plane. He wasn't showing symptoms of it. Apparently, Purdy got a concussion. And right after that, he threw 2 picks. So that could be a legit reason why he threw those interceptions in that game. Yeah. But today they go into their bitter rival, Green Bay, who is not looking so hot. No. Now, I don't think Green Bay played last week. I think they were on a bye.
No, they played last week.
Did they play? Oh, that's right. Yeah. I forgot. You guys beat them last week.
Yeah. We got a win. I didn't trust that win at all either. Like they had
I told everybody earlier, I said, he texted me and said, we won? Is this what a win feels like?
Yeah. The only team we beat is the Bears. I mean, we had to come back for that one.
Yeah. But I think the Vikings go in there and let them know what's going on. That's what I think's going to happen. Kirk Cousins, I have to, as much as I bitch about the guy, I have to give it to him. He played mistake-free football last week and lit them bitches
and up. It was in prime time.
Unbelievable. I could not believe it. I thought for sure that one deep throw to, what's his name, Aiden or something like that, the rookie for Minnesota. Yeah. That sure looked like a pick, and he just yanked that shit away from that kid and fucking took it to the house.
Oh, yeah, Addison, yeah. I enjoyed after that one game, the meme started popping up like, oh, so-and-so was picked over Addison. It was like, really, dude? One fucking game. He's not a Hall of Famer quite yet. He had one good game, Jesus.
Yeah, and
Justin Jefferson might have been hurt. He's still the best team player on that team, even while hurt. So, give me a break.
Yeah. Absolutely. But Kirk Cousins had a hell of a game, dude. He really did.
I think one of their underrated pickups was Hawkinson from last year.
Mm-hmm. So, does anybody want to take Green Bay in this one?
I'm going Vikings.
I'm not ready to write them off quite yet, but I don't know. I think because you get that that Vikings high from last week. It is a shorter week for them because they played Monday night, didn't they, or was it Sunday night?
Yeah, they played. Minnesota played Monday night.
Yeah, so it's kind of a short. I don't know. I'm still leading Vikings, but
I got no love for Jordan Love.
Yeah,
I got no love for him either. I don't think.
Well, it's funny because we say, "Well, it's Jordan Love." Has the wide receivers really gotten that much better? Has Green Bay really invested in their? So is it? I'm not saying it's not his fault at all, but I mean, have they really helped him? Who's their tight end? Nobody fucking knows.
Yeah, I can't name a wide receiver on the team.
There's their running back that's not hurt. What?
I was going to say the only thing they can do well is run the football, and that's
actually
what's funny
he's not hurt this week.
Green Bay traditionally can't run the ball.
I think Aaron Jones was back last week, but he didn't do much. So he did okay, but
when you're not afraid of the quarterback or the wide receivers, you pretty much load the box. Just look at Tennessee and what's happening with that team. I mean,
oh man,
yeah. So
I don't even know why they go after older wide receivers anymore. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. Lady V says, hey, bitches. It's good to see you, chick.
I'm still trying to decide if I want to throw not Jordan Love, but Aaron Jones in there instead of Najee Harris.
God, yeah, Najee Harris has just done nothing.
Well, let's get.
I have him on my team, and
I do not have an opinion on that until we talk about the Pittsburgh game coming up. But anyway, so we're all on board with Minnesota on this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The New Orleans Saints going into Indianapolis, both teams 3-4. Now, look, guys, let me know your opinion about the fits that Derek Carr is throwing at his wide receivers and not making not running the routes he wants them to.
Well, first he needs his wide receivers not to get arrested. That'll help.
That's true. That would help.
If they can not beat women and do all that kind of shit, that'd be fantastic.
That would be nice. Yeah,
he might not be able to bring that up.
And Olave could get their shit together. That would be good. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I can't say anything to that because one of our wide receivers did that, or may have done that.
Yeah.
Well,
here's my problem with it. If you're winning, look, when Troy Aikman used to grab, when he gets sacked and he would grab his left tackle by the friggin' face mask and yell at him right there on national television when they were 10-1, I could see that. He's the leader of the team and he's calling the guy out. I remember distinctly reading his lips saying, I cannot throw a pass on my back. He said that straight to a lineman while grabbing his face mask after a sack. I can see that. You know what I mean? When you're winning, but when you're losing, I don't know that you do that. I mean, I think he's shown it. We know he's a fiery guy and he's a very passionate dude, but I think he needs to rein that in. He's not helping his football team doing that.
I've seen Derek Carr play for years, and I told you when you guys got him that he's not a good quarterback.
Yeah. That's another thing I've heard too. Everybody, when he was in Las Vegas or LA or Oakland, wherever the fuck they were playing before, the knock on him was, well, if he only had a team around him. Well, guess what? No. He's got more talent than you can shake a fucking stick at now. And
he's got more talent than he's had ever around him.
And it's not happening, man. I'm starting to, I like the kid's passion and everything. I was a big fan of his brother, even though he took the ass kicking of a lifetime playing for Houston. But I like their character, but man, he's got to rein that shit in and try and help that football team. It's ridiculous. I believe I went with New Orleans in this one just because they're so up and down. They were down last week. I think they'll be up this week, but I could easily call this for Indianapolis too, because usually when it's 50-50 like this, I take the home team. Minshew kept up with Minshew, you guys can say what you want about Cleveland Browns. They've got a decent defense, and he sliced it up last week. They scored over 30 points. I mean, Gardner Minshew? What the fuck? You know? But they did have their running back, right?
Yeah.
Taylor's back. So I don't know how much of that was running. I'd have to look at the stats and everything. But what are your thoughts on this one, guys? Starting with John. What do you think?
I had originally picked the Saints, but the more I think about it and seeing Gardner Minshew's game last week, I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to call an audible and go Colts.
Okay.
Because I think my initial reaction to the Colts were, I still remember them beating us last year, so screw you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, you can say what you want about the Colts. They're competitive. They are. It's not like they lose by tons of points. You know what I mean? What do you think about it there, Knock?
I think both offenses are fine, but I think Saints defense is better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's the Saints defense that's going to make the difference.
That I was fixing to say, if there is something that's consistent in this game, it's definitely the Saints defense. They are consistent. No doubt. The only thing is, are they going to get enough offense to where they don't crumble under the pressure of bad offense? You know what I mean?
But I'm all for Minshew. If Minshew wins, I'm all for him.
Yeah, I hear you.
I like the unis they've been wearing, the all blue. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, that's crazy with black helmets. That's pretty beastly looking. They're trying to look like the friggin' Ravens, man. It's ridiculous. Let's see. Tim says the team I like, North Melbourne Kangaroos, years ago had some having an affair with another player's wife. Oh my God, that's crazy. Lady Fee says people get emotional and ego takes over when they're losing. Yes, ma'am. You're absolutely correct. Yep. They sure do. That player should have been blacklisted. She's talking to Tim. And can't trust your team if you're worried about them banging your chicks. Oh my God. I should have known they're going to get into this now. These guys. He was at the end of his playing days, so nothing much happened to him. The first game he played against North was a fun game. Okay. So, all right. So let's see. Me and Knock are with New Orleans. John is going to go ahead and go with Minshew Madness. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Now, this is an interesting game here. The New England Patriots actually got off the mat and had their best offensive showing last week in beating the Buffalo Bills. Part of the reason why I don't believe in Buffalo, they lost to this team. But they're going down to Miami, who's going to be pretty pissed off after last Sunday night in Philly.
Oh, yeah. And they have every right to be.
Yeah, they have every right to be. We talked about the reffing in that game, Knock, early, and I don't know if you saw that game, but it was horrendous. It was, there was not one flag thrown on the Philadelphia Eagles, and there was about 10 flags.
Nah, I missed pretty much that whole game.
Go look at the film, bro. It's pretty bad. I haven't seen reffing that bad since Super Bowl 40 when we played Pittsburgh. It's in our first Super Bowl. It was horrendous. But I don't think New England's going down south to the heat, and I think they're going to melt in it. I think they're going to get crushed like a beer can. I think the Dolphins are going to hang a 40 burger on them, and they'll be done with them. What do you guys think?
Well, I'm still going. I'm going to have to ride with the Dolphins, not because I hate the Patriots, but that's not why I'm doing it. I've got to ride with Tua till he gets hurt, and he hasn't gotten hurt this year.
Thing.
So, he's still got the fastest wide receiver in the NFL.
Yep.
So as much as I dislike Tyreek Hill and what he said about the Chiefs since he went to Miami, I'm not going to take the guy's
That's sour grapes. Grapes. He got a ring. He needs to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
You know?
He could have had two. All he had to do was think about his legacy rather than his wallet. But
hey, man, I don't begrudge anybody going for the money. They've got
especially after you get a ring. You only really need one.
Yeah.
You're never going to get a better high than that. It's like it's just it's good to go back, obviously, but once you get it at least once, like all you're going to do is just be repeating.
I don't have any problem with him going for the money, but he doesn't need to be trash talking the team he got the ring with when he doesn't. That's kind of low character to me. But anyway, Knock, your thoughts on this one?
I mean, Patriots had one good game. Doesn't mean they changed.
Yeah.
Dolphins had one bad game, but a lot of people were talking about how, who they played. This will kind of not help that.
They were playing two opponents, bud. I'm telling you, if you watch the film, you're going to freak out when you see it. They were playing the refs and the Philadelphia Eagles. It was ridiculous.
I just meant about the ones they, beat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Saying they haven't really played much.
So you're with Miami on this one?
Yeah, I'm going to go Miami. Patriots aren't nothing special.
Yeah.
They have one good game.
The first matchup was in New England, and if they'd have had the offense from last week, they'd have won that game because they kept everything in front of them. They made them make long drives with the short throws and all that stuff. They played the shell, and they did it. They played the best defensively anybody's played against them, but they didn't have enough offense to like Philly. Philly did a good job on offense. So, and they were helped out by the refs too. I'm telling you, dude, friggin' Philly was handed their first touchdown of that game. It was a defensive game right up until Philly scored their first touchdown, and it was handed to them on a silver platter. It was just stupid, dude. It was ridiculous. Anyway, we're all on Miami for that one. Now we have the battle for New York. The Meadowlands. Both of these teams are at home this week. The Jets take on the Giants. I guess they've decided the Giants are the home team in this one, which makes no sense to me. But
neither side has fans right now, so it doesn't really matter.
Right. I believe I took the Jets in this one just because of their defense, man. I'm pretty sure that's the one I picked. Let me see. Yes, I took the Jets in this one. And it's simply because Salah's defense is solid. Okay. They're really good at what they do, man. And if Zach Wilson continues to play mistake-free football, there's no reason why they shouldn't win these games.
No.
However, that said, the Giants, they beat Buffalo last week. They've definitely upgraded their quarterback position through injury. They have a veteran out there that's not messing it up, and so they could win this game. I just think the defense is the edge for the Jets. I think they are.
I've seen Salah's defense playing against the Chiefs, so that's why I went with Jets, is because you're right, their defense is probably a little better than the Giants' offense at this point, even with Jones and getting his big paycheck.
Yeah. So you got the Jets in this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Knock, what you got, man?
I'll take the Jets. I don't really have a view on these two teams. They just don't matter.
They don't, but when you really look at the totality of the rosters, the side of the ball that really stands out in this game is the defensive side for the Jets. That's who should carry the day. Let's see. Lady V says in the old ways, he would have been. Oh, they're still talking about this goon from another team. Whatever. Okay, so the next one we got is the Jaguars at the Steelers. I would really like to see this game. I really would. I would like to figure out how the fuck Pittsburgh is winning football games. And from what I understand,
defense. It's their defense. Giving them opportunities.
Right. And also, but from what I understand, which one is the quarterback? Pickett or Pickens? I can't remember.
Pickens is the
Pickett. Yeah. Okay. From what I understand, he's the new Eli Manning. He fucks it up for 3 quarters and then turns into Superman in the 4th. From what I understand, last couple of weeks, that's the way his playing style has played out. From fucking it up for 3 quarters. I used to tell people, man, when you play Eli Manning, you better roll up about 30 points in the first 3 quarters, because come the fourth quarter, that guy puts his chin strap on and takes a steroid shot or something, because he's ready to fuck you up in the fourth quarter. But anyway, I heard an interesting stat today that the guy that gets rid of the football the quickest, the second quickest one in the NFL, is actually the hippie that plays for the Jaguars. He's getting rid of the ball super quick. I think, he's second only to Tua. That kid. Why am I having a fucking block on his name? Played for Clemson. Come on, help me out, guys. What's the quarterback's name for the Jaguars?
Now I've lost it.
Total mental block on his name. I'm going to have to look this up. This is killing me. What the hell is his name? Shit. Let me hit the game details. Maybe it'll friggin'
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. That's it. I couldn't think of his name for nothing, man.
I just called the hair.
Yeah, the hippie. That's why I call him the hippie from Jacksonville.
I have to go with the hair on this one.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. That team likes to win frickin' ugly, dude.
Yeah, they do. But
they're, let's see, 5-4 and 4-2.
Lawrence gets the ball out so quick that I don't think the Steelers defense are going to have time to do anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens, man. I think I took Pittsburgh because they're at home, and they love to win ugly games at home. Yeah. Everybody else on my hometown sheet is taking Jacksonville, but I'm taking Pittsburgh just because TJ Watt is a difference maker. He's just, he did it for him last week. So,
right. I don't think he can get Trevor Lawrence before he gets rid of the ball.
He may not. So you taking Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Okay. Knock, what you got?
I'm still finding it really hard to trust the Jaguars.
Well, you can trust the running game. You know that.
Yeah, I do like Etienne.
Mm-hmm.
I've been using him since we did the special draft in fantasy and Madden, and had him on my team. He was my speed guy, my speed running back.
Yep. He's special.
It's I don't know, but I can't trust the Steelers offense either. This is a tough one for me.
Take care, Lady V. It was good to see you, darling.
I think I'm going to have to go Jaguars.
Okay.
Just because I don't know.
I am standing alone with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I hate that team, dude. They just ripped my guts out so many times, man.
If Jaguars lose this game, I'll probably never pick them again.
Well, they've only lost 2 games. They should beat them.
So is the Steelers. Steelers have only lost 2 games. So, I mean,
yeah. The Steelers have had their bye week already too. There's that.
There is that. They're gonna get more. They're gonna wear down as the season goes on. No doubt about it.
So this is an interesting one.
Yes, this is an interesting one.
Will Levis starting.
Whole lot of weirdness is going to happen in this game right here. I got to tell you, I would love to see this game. First of all, we've got which one of the backups is playing for the Titans today, Knock?
Will Levis is what I understand.
Which one?
Will Levis.
Levis, okay. Levis is going to start for them. And look, did you watch that Good Sports video I put in the that I sent to you? Did you watch that?
No.
He said, I want to know if they've got a force field set up at the goal line for the Atlanta Falcons. Because if you watched that game last week, every time they tried to put that ball over a pylon, they fumbled it, dude. It was ridiculous. They did everything they could to give that game to the Buccaneers last week, and the Bucs just couldn't take it. It was ridiculous. Ritter turned it over 4 times in that game, man. He had 2 fumbles. One of them, he was going into the end zone, and the idiot didn't switch hands, and the defender come up right behind him and punched it out right at the goal line.
Yep.
I mean, and went through for a touchback, and Tampa took over. It was ridiculous, man. It was nuts. This is going to be a fun game to watch because the Falcons really, Ritter is the only thing holding that fucking team back. Robinson's showing out at running back. You know, they've got some good young receivers there. But, man, I don't know what is up with Ritter, dude. He just has no clue how to hang on to a foot. Does he have small hands? I know that was the knock on Pickett. You know, is that what it is? But the Titans, I mean, the book on them, people have been loading the box against them just to stop Big Daddy, you know, and letting Ryan Tannehill mess it up. If Levis can control the game, they might have a chance in this one, you know. I think I took Atlanta just because I just don't trust. No, I took Tennessee. This was going to be my upset pick, you know, since we've got this wild card quarterback coming in here, you know. We saw it actually fire at the Bears. And, you know, just depends on how the Titans respond to the young quarterback coming in. Are they going to play harder to help him out? You know, let's see what happens. I got Tennessee in this one. What do you got, John?
Well, as much as I know, Falcons are going to mess this up. I know it's going to be like a turnover festival.
Yeah.
The best player on the Titans team is Prince Henry. Or King Henry.
King Henry.
And they
can't run with 10 people in the box.
Nope.
Yeah, you can't.
Nope. Can't run 10 people
in
the box.
College. Can't do it here.
So, yeah. And plus, there's all the trade rumors that people are talking that they're going to trade him away before the trade deadline. So, with
that's
all that
talk. That's dumb.
Well, I know that's dumb, and it probably won't happen, but with that kind of talk, and you're hearing that as a player,
it's got to affect you, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I went with the Falcons.
Which way is it going to affect him, though?
Is it going to piss him off?
Is it going to piss him off and make him turn into a bull carrying guys 10 yards downfield?
But you still can't run with 10 guys in the box.
That's true. That's true. So you got Atlanta in this one?
Yep.
Okay. Knock, what do you got?
Well, the best player on the Falcons team is their field goal kicker. So I'm going to go for him. He can score the most points on their team. So
yeah, no doubt.
I'm rooting for him.
Done. He does.
So I think that's all that matters at the end of the day.
There you go. There's 3 phases, right, Knock? 3 phases of football game, right? Oh, shit. Okay. The Philadelphia Eagles at the Washington Commandos.
Oh, man.
Right? What the fuck? Tush push. What's up? See some tush push.
Yeah.
Look,
that's going to be addressed.
I'm not picking Washington because I'm just the Philadelphia Eagles just.
So the number one thing
the Philadelphia Eagles are pissing me off. Is what they're doing, especially after last week's game. It's starting to piss me off. They're playing just ugly football and winning. It's like watching Pittsburgh. It's just they can. We know that they can play so much better than this, and they're just not. I don't know if it's because they lost 2 coordinators and maybe these guys are learning new systems or something, but I am pulling for the Commandos in this one. I picked Philly, but I'm pulling for the Commandos, no doubt. What you got, John?
Well, I really don't want Bieniemy to turn out to be a flash in the pan, and it really, I want him to succeed, but he hasn't been. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he doesn't have the talent he had at Kansas City, too.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah, I went with the Eagles. I mean, it's like Jalen Hurts is too big of a quarterback to ignore.
Yeah.
And, then you got the tush push. So, which, like I said, they're going to address that in the offseason next year. They are. They're not going to be any tush pushes next year.
No. Not with guys getting hurt during this thing.
No
doubt. Knock.
I think the one knock that I heard on the radio this week for Washington, living in the DC area, that's what I get. But
All right, Tim, take care, brother.
It was the lack of adjustment by the offense. Maryland they just didn't adjust to shit. You know, you play one half, it doesn't work, and you try to do it again in the second half, and it still doesn't work. Yeah. What are you doing? You know, that's the enemy, right? What I heard on the radio. Was that what they were doing? So, it's just,
which doesn't make any sense because Kansas City was always famous for their adjustments at half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but how much of that's Reed?
That's probably all Reed. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying that you know, because remember when we talked at the beginning of the season, we don't know if
it was Reed or Bieniemy.
If it was Reed, if it was Bieniemy doing the well, now we.
I think we knew.
I think it was pretty common. I mean, Reed has been successful for quite a while before Bieniemy was even a thing. So but he definitely learned a thing or two. I mean, the Washington's offense is at times more exciting than it has.
They've won 3 games. Yeah.
They definitely feel better with him than with Scott Turner. I mean, Scott Turner was just. Talk about moving like a glacier to change. You know, like his offense has sucked, but he keeps getting a job. But you know, whatever. And so I think the offense potentially could get better. And you know, I always try to keep in perspective how teams are built. Nothing's ever built in one off season. Not generally. No. Those tend to be exceptions to the rules when those happen. And there are you know, now as far as the defense for Washington goes, there's no excuses there. Like Del Rio's been there for 4 years, and Rivera has been there for 4 years. That defense should be a lot better. Yeah, that is completely their creation,
especially
So it's like, and that defense has not lived up to the hype. Like they're talking about Montez Sweat and Jace Young both being in their contract year. One of them probably going to go before the trade deadline. Yep. So, I mean, that would be because they're not worth keeping. You know, they haven't done anything to distinguish themselves, and you know, sometimes they just completely disappeared. So, I'm going to go with Philly on this one. You know, it is a divisional game, so there's always a chance. Yeah. Especially after early upsets we saw last week, you just never know. But this is Eagles' game to lose.
Okay. Yeah.
There's definitely not home field advantage in Maryland.
No.
Definitely some fair weather fans here.
Next up, we got the Browns at the Seattle Seahawks. Both of them 4-2. Both of them willing to score at will. If you're a betting man, take the over in this one, boys and girls. It's going to be a track meet. If last week's game in Indianapolis was any indication, if the game between Detroit and the Seahawks earlier this year was any indication, there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game, which I hate because Seattle's always hung its hat on defense, and we're just giving it up like the prom queen on prom night. Good Lord, dude, it's ridiculous. I'm giving the nod to my Seahawks just because they're the home team. That's the only reason why.
I flipped a coin.
Now here's my question. Have the Cleveland Browns improved at quarterback through injury? Have they improved?
Yeah, PJ Walker, I like him, but I don't know about that.
They're scoring like it's nobody's business with him all of a sudden. How many did they put up to beat Cleveland? I think the final score was 39-38 last week, wasn't it?
How much did Cleveland put up to beat Cleveland? Well, that's a Madden reference. I meant
the Colts. You know what I meant? Yeah.
But I mean, the Colts are the Colts. I wouldn't read too much into that.
Now, Cleveland's defense at any time could just knock my quarterback out of the game. It'd be over. I mean,
Myles Garrett
is a beast.
I literally knock him out with this helmet.
Yeah, no shit. Right? He could go swinging that thing around, right? I took the Seahawks just because they're at home, and that's that. Going to play them there.
That is a 12th man, so
yeah, they're playing 12 guys on defense.
Yeah, them there, is that their pronouns?
Them there it is. Yes.
Yeah, I just don't know if I trust the. I mean, yeah, they did well last week. I just don't know if I trust the Browns back because I think Kareem Hunt's hurt or hurting. Ford looks good. You know, they're third string running back.
Right.
So he's definitely that monster runs. But and then you got PJ Walker or the other guy, but I guess he got hurt too. I'm not really sure what's going on there. I'm leaning more Seahawks just because I trust their offense more than the Browns.
Okay. John?
I flipped a coin. Browns won.
Especially since Seahawks are at home. So I think that's why I'm leaning a little more towards them.
All righty.
So there's they're 2-4-2 teams. They've both got strengths and weaknesses on both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
It was just really hard for me to call. So I flipped a coin.
I'll tell you the defensive guy I want you guys to keep an eye on today. And that's the nickel corner for the Seahawks. He's a rookie named Witherspoon. And this guy brings the wood like it's nobody's business, man. He's playing cornerback like he's a strong safety. It's ridiculous. I saw him lay a hit on a wide receiver screen last week against Arizona. He blew that kid out of his cleats. He's a corner.
Didn't he get ejected?
I don't think he got ejected from the game, no. It was a personal foul, but actually, no, there was no flag thrown on it because he used his shoulder. I mean, he friggin' lit that kid up with his shoulder. I mean, oof, it was pretty. I like it. I like it. That's Legion of Boom kind of stuff. His name's Witherspoon. Keep an eye on that kid. He's playing really well. He really is. And that speaking of those Cardinals, we've got the Baltimore Ravens versus the Arizona Cardinals. Does anybody want to go on that limb with the Cardinals?
No.
You know what's funny? This is probably a game that the Ravens lose too.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the one they'll lose. Detroit came into Baltimore, and Baltimore said, no, not in our house. Matter of fact, you owe us money, and we're gonna punk your ass. And they used it all up against Detroit, and they just get beat down by the Cardinals this week, right?
Yeah, but it's the Cardinals.
It is. It's the Cardinals.
They got lucky in their one win.
It's the Cardinal rule, Dan. Hey, they've been playing in games, man. They've been playing.
Yeah, the Cardinals are always in the game. They always are. They're competitive. You got to give them that. Yeah. Go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
I'll say I don't think they expected to be 1-6. I think they expected to be 0-7.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can't.
One win got Dobbs a jersey in sale. So
Yeah. And that one win, they came back from 3 touchdowns down to do it too, to the Giants.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it was the Giants. So I mean,
right. So you guys are both with Baltimore.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you saying you're not?
My co-hosts do battle this week. Is it round 1 or round 2?
I mean, it's round 2. It's not really a battle.
But I hear the elements may be part of this game.
The snow's supposed to taper off by 12:15.
Damn it! Come on, man! Come on. 12.
They've already got 7 inches.
Says 325 right here.
Yep. So because I've got the weather report up for Colorado, so I'm like,
come on.
They've already got 7 inches of snow, but that's not going to matter because that field will be clean.
Yeah.
So the next thing you have is temperature, and we've already proven that it could be 0 degrees outside, and Mahomes is going to throw the ball.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's an Andy Reid team. That's all they're going to do is throw the ball. Yeah. They only run the ball when they're ahead.
Yeah. But then again, we've got Pacheco. And Pacheco he doesn't get enough respect as a running back as he should.
Yeah.
I mean, he makes people miss.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
The only problem I have is when they try and run it up the gut. It's like Pacheco can still get 4 yards up the gut every time.
Mm-hmm.
But his strength is on the outside.
Yeah.
When they do that, basically this extended running back play where he just pitches it. and just kind of tosses it to the side, and that's because you got Pacheco on the outside. Well, that's 10 yards.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much, if it's blocked correctly. Yep.
Yeah.
And I got to give him this. Kansas City's wide receivers block like it's nobody's business. On running plays, they really do.
Our tight ends too.
The two best teams in the AFC, it's the Chiefs. In the NFC, it's the San Francisco 49ers. They block like it's nobody's business on running plays. Knock, does your team have a chance?
It all depends on the offense. I actually think with our defense been getting better, they could stay in the game relatively. Mm-hmm. But it's not going to matter if we go 3 and out 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
The defense can only do so much. You watch the first 15 plays, and the Broncos will look like the best team ever. And then after that, it's nothing for about 2.5 quarters. And then that's it. Like, this game will probably be one of the best games ever in the first quarter, right? And then after that, we'll fall out. Chiefs will score before the half, probably get the ball after the half, or Sean Payton will go for an onside kick and fail, and then the Chiefs will go down and score again. Boom, we're down 2 touchdowns, and then that's the game. Like,
that's the thing about playing the Chiefs. You have to. Oh my God, how do I put this?
Or we would trade field goals for touchdowns, where kind of deal.
Yeah, you've got to play defense in that last 2 minutes because they will rip your guts out the last 2 minutes before the half. They are really good at it.
Our only real chance is one to run the ball.
Yep.
Keep them off the field.
That's how you do it.
And if you do get the Chiefs to punt, get some fucking points. Like, we're allergic to going up by 2 scores. It just does not happen. We do not go up by 2 scores very often. It's just not a thing. Yeah. So when you have the opportunity to get more points, like get a touchdown, get the ball back, and get points, you got to do it. We just don't. We go 3 and out, and just everything disappears. And Wilson, at least one time a game, will try to run out of the pocket, get caught from behind, fumble the ball. It's happened almost every game. But every once in a while he'll run for 15 yards. It's just. This is why I didn't trust him last week. Luckily the defense finally did a play and picked it off on almost a Hail Mary kind of deal. It wasn't exactly a Hail Mary, but it's just the offense needs to do more for us to have a chance in any game. Not even the Chiefs, just any game, and we don't. We do so many 3 and outs, just so many. What if the Broncos would probably surprise a lot of teams if they didn't run the ball on second down? It is like almost a guarantee that no matter what, first, 2nd and 8, 2nd and 2, 2nd and 5, 2nd and 12, they're always going to run the ball on second down, and everybody knows it. They're so fucking predictable. It's insane. And then we get 1 yard. And then it's always 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, and even 3rd and 3, we can't seem to get it. It's asinine how predictable their offense has been. Yeah. And our wide receivers are supposed to be pretty darn good, but Sutton hardly ever shows up. Judy has like a couple plays now and then, and it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute to me how bad our offense has been the last couple of years. It just doesn't make sense. I just don't understand it, especially when you see shit teams do good enough.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got Kansas City?
I mean, I have to. Yeah, I have no faith that even if the Broncos
we know
were
who
ahead,
you're pulling for.
I got the Chiefs for this one.
Right.
I hate it, but
yeah. Ruben says, I have 7 inches too. Well, slightly more. Laugh out loud. And are the Chiefs a good team? I have heard things. Kansas City is on my list of places to move to. They're pretty good, man. They're the reigning world champions, and they've only lost 1 game all year. So, yeah, they're a good team, buddy. They've been a good team. They've been to the AFC Championship game 5 years in a row. So, yeah.
They've got arguably the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yes.
There's some arguments that could be made. That's why I'm not going to just say, oh, they've got the best quarterback, because there's 2 other quarterbacks out there that people consider just as good.
And all of a sudden, he's severely underpaid.
Right?
Yeah.
absolutely crazy. He had $500 million contract, and all of a sudden he's underpaid as a quarterback just because of a few other contracts that happened since then.
What I think's funny,
but we do have.
This is what I will call him real quick, John. I will call him the best point guard in the NFL. I will call him that. Yeah. No doubt. Because he plays the game like he's a point guard on a basketball team.
And he's super good at faking injuries too. Like
Yes, he is. Yes.
He's a great actor. I mean, I think Hollywood needs to start giving him up some movies in the offseason.
I'm sorry, I cut you off, John. What were you going to say? Sorry.
So we do have the best tight end to ever play the game.
That's arguable, but yes, I could see that in the plus column, no doubt. He's definitely the best tight end playing today. I'll give him that.
The huge question, though, is Taylor going to be at the game?
She's not.
She's not.
I wasn't even going to bring that up this week.
Do it, Broncos. This is it. This is it. Kelsey is not the same without her. He's going to be depressed. He's going to be sad. This is the time to jump, Broncos. You got to do it. You got to jump on him while they're down. You got to kick him while he's down. No, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go that far. No.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, 2 weeks ago, I would have laughed if you told me that Cincinnati might have a chance to win this game. But Cody has been in the protocol. I don't know if he's playing or not.
He's playing.
He's playing? Okay. And the Bengals have reeled off a couple of wins and looked convincing doing it. So, what do you think, gentlemen? I'm taking the 49ers because they're at home. And I think Bosa is going to exploit the fact that Joe Burrow still doesn't have – he's still got a sieve of a front line. It's all Joe Burrow whenever he completes passes, no doubt about it. So, do either one of you give the Bengals a chance to win this game? What do you think, John?
Nope. Joe Burrow still has the turnstile known as Orlando Brown Jr.
Yes.
And I've said it from the beginning. It's like everybody's like, oh, we get rid of it. I'm like, dude, he's a turnstile. Him and Wiley were the reason why Mahomes got hurt in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Last year. Mm-hmm. I'm like, no, we got rid of him. Good riddance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, and as everybody says that he's a good quarterback, but I don't think Joe Burrow's as good as his press is. So,
well, okay. You go ahead and go there if you want to. Yeah. If he had a front line,
I think he's still hurt. But I mean, let's back up a little bit with John saying. It's 27-3 against the Titans. All right, that's a losing game against the Titans. They lost 27-3 to the Titans a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
They beat the Cardinals 34-20. They beat the Cardinals 34-20. Okay, so they scored some points there. And then they beat the Seahawks 17-13. Not a lot of points there. So, but a good win. Definitely a good win.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they reeled off some wins, but they've had some ugly losses. So I don't know if I can trust them quite yet.
Okay.
So I do think the 49ers can eat on that line
and
just on it. And, I think
there's a guy named Bosa that should have a field day today. You know,
that's the greater Bosa, not the lesser Bosa. That's
not the lesser, the greater Bosa. Yes, no doubt. Mm-hmm. I have to tell you, I have to disagree with you about how good Joe Burrow is. If he played with a better line, he'd be torching folks.
He had a better line last year.
But I mean, a lot of quarterbacks.
No, he has not had a line since he's been in Cincinnati, bro.
How many quarterbacks would do better if they had a better line, Joe? I think that's kind of a blanket statement there. It just kind of applies to literally every quarterback ever in existence. You know, anybody can play. Tony Romo had the greatest line, and anyone could have played back there. I mean, Tony Romo has moments, but he also fumbled a ball on a field goal that could have won the game in playoffs. So, anyone can play against that with that line.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, so we got the San Francisco 49ers. But, hey, if last week was in
the Bengals pull it out, all for it.
They could. Yeah. this is our picks. This is not who we're rooting for. I'm rooting for the Bengals in this game, big time.
If there's one thing that I've gotten from college football that I kind of started to apply to the NFL, is I want all the parity possible. So one of the reasons why I enjoyed that Kansas game versus Oklahoma, sorry to bring that up again, Joe, it's just it was an underdog. Anytime a top 10 team loses, I'm all for it. I don't care who it is. So that's one of the things I like about the NFL. There's more, games matter a lot more, whereas your reputation in college matters more these days than actual, gameplay.
Right.
No, it's the upsets. So, yeah, if the Bengals pull it out, I'm all for it.
Will we see an upset?
Speaking of upsets.
Will we see one tonight? What is the kid's name, guys?
Like Badgett or something like that?
Badgett, that's it. That's
it.
I didn't even watch the highlights for this one. I think
undrafted free agent come out there and lit it up for the friggin' Bears last week. Their offense looked like it was a well-oiled machine last week. It's ridiculous. And then you've got the king of analytics. Oh my God. I think I took the Chargers in this game, but it was a squeamish pick. I can tell you that. Yeah, I took the Chargers, but
I'm going back.
I almost want to switch it to the Bears because it's just hard.
Listen, until Badgett, even though I don't know if I'm saying his name right, until he's defeated, I'm going to go with him. He's this year's Brock Purdy. The Bears are going to reel off, 11 wins, and they're going to go to the playoffs with Badgett. And then he's the new Mr. Irrelevant. That's my bold prediction.
Look. It's happened a few times in NFL history. If Trent Green never goes down, we never know Kurt Warner's name. We never know his name. If Drew Bledsoe doesn't go down, we never know Tom Brady's name.
Or Tony Romo.
Or Tony Romo, right?
He had to go down twice.
He had to go down twice to get him in there, right? So yeah, I mean, I love that the kid came off the bench and friggin' lit it up, man. Now, can he do it again in prime time? It's a bigger stage. The whole world's watching. And he's got a Bosa after him. He
may be the lesser Bosa, but he's still a Bosa.
His last name is still Bosa, and he knows how to get the quarterbacks. So it's going to be interesting to see. I took the Chargers, but I'm very squeamish because of their head coach. Doesn't matter how well this team plays. He's going to fuck it up for him.
Coaching by AWS.
Oh, I swear to God, man. It's some of the most ridiculous. And this is something you're going to hear me and Knock argue about all the time because I don't get it. I don't get the analytics shit. Of course, I'm 58 years old and I'm set in my ways, I guess. If you tempt the football gods, I don't care if you get it 50% of the time. The other 50% is what's going to diminish that every fucking time. So
I'm not saying I always agree with it. I'm just saying I know what they're going for. Yeah. Because before I got on, you were talking about the going for 2 points in the one game.
Yes, I didn't understand it.
And that's you're going to see that more and more often. It is a thing. So where the whole premise of it is that if they were to get the ball back and score, they would be ahead by 1 point. And it's just kind of like some teams like. Who was it? California versus USC.
Okay. Let's take what you just said right there.
Hang on. Let me finish first. It's like California versus USC, right? They, at the end of the game, they knew they were going to stop. This last weekend. It was 50-49. Okay, they knew in overtime, right? And you would think this against the Chiefs as well. A team like the Chiefs, you don't think that you're going to beat them in overtime. So you go ahead and in that particular case, USC and California did it at the end of the game, which you've seen some teams do too. It's just go ahead and go for, not very often, but they just went ahead and go for two. They could have tied it and gone to overtime, but instead they went for two. They wanted to end the game on their terms. It's a huge risk. It's a huge risk reward, but it's just one of those. It's a decision. It's a coaching decision. That's all it is. Do you want your team to go in overtime? If you were the Bills, would you want to go into overtime with Kansas City, kind of deal? Or would you rather, instead of, and kicks, especially in the NFL, kicks aren't automatic anymore. Kicks are not automatic.
No.
They're not automatic anymore. So would you want to leave the fate of your team on your kicker or your superstar quarterback? I mean, that's a decision. That's a decision. It's not even if you throw the analytics stuff out the window, that's a coaching decision to what you think your team is doing. If you don't think you can beat that other team in overtime or have to stick with them or even stop, if they won the coin toss, they go down the field and score a touchdown in the regular season, that's game over. That's what I'm not saying I'm like, if I play you in Madden, I'm not going to do that. I'm just saying I kind of understand the reasoning behind it, even if I wouldn't do it myself.
Okay. I'm going to have to cut you off because you're going to keep going with the same point over.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
Just listen to me real quick.
And you're going to go to the same points that you do.
No. Listen to me. Even if you're using that kind of thinking, wouldn't you want to put your team in the position to go for 2 for the win? Wouldn't you want to do that?
But if you've already done it, then you don't have to worry about it later.
No.
Because you still have the opportunity to go for 2 later.
You're making yourself go for 2 on the second try
if you miss it, yes. You're acting like extra points are automatic too.
I'm telling you,
I know exactly what you're saying, Joe. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Game, you can still make that decision to, if you don't trust your defense or whatever, to go for 2 then.
That's what I'm saying. Like the logic is to do it earlier so that if it was done, you wouldn't have to worry about that later in the game. Because you could still have the opportunity to go for 2 later if you had to. Whereas if you go ahead and if you happen to get it like the Bucs did, they just didn't have it. They just couldn't finish. They would have won by a point. Wouldn't have had to worry about overtime, or even So if their kicker missed it, it would have just been tied and they would have been in overtime. I'm just saying, like I don't see the complete trust in your kicker over your quarterback. That's all. I can understand it, even if I want to do it.
I do have some breaking news.
Go.
Mahomes has the flu.
Oh, so he's going to hang 50 on Denver today, not 70. Okay, gotcha. Cool.
Well, they say he's better today than he was yesterday, but they didn't make it. They didn't let it out.
Here we go with the acting again. Who put that? Was that Reed? Was that Reed that said it? Oh, yeah. Quarterback's coming down with the flu.
Sorry. He popped up
nauseous and dehydrated. Yeah.
It gives me, it's anytime any of my players are sick like that, I get worried.
Oh, yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, to go back to this.
Now you've heard me and not go round and round about analytics again. It's going to happen all the time.
Yeah. that I don't love the Chargers.
Yeah.
They're not my most hated team, but they're up there.
Yeah.
I just can't see the Bears doing it again.
Okay.
I think it was a fluke that kid came off the bench. He got excited, and
I hope that kid hangs 50 on that team. I know both of you do too. I know both of you would love to see that,
But there's a guy named Bosa that might have something to say about that.
Yes, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I went with the Chargers.
Kind of an untold story there is Khalil Mack going back there too.
Yeah,
playing against his old team.
You can't forget about
he hasn't been as big as he was because he's kind of older now, but still, it's him playing against his old team. So
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
There'll be something there as well.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look.
I'm still going to go to the Bears.
On paper, the Chargers should be keeping up with the Chiefs in that division. They should be. On paper, with the talent they have on the field, they should be keeping up.
I wouldn't mind the Chargers going for it every once in a while. The biggest problem with the Chargers is they go for it too many times.
That's it.
They go for every opportunity they have to go for it.
I still don't understand how the coach has a job. I really don't. I don't understand it.
Yeah, coaching by L. Ron Hubbard's Dianetics. I mean,
no fucking shit.
Yeah,
he's
that's
consulting the gods of Scientology to freaking decide what he's going to do in a football game. He's a retard. I can't stand that guy. All right, the last game of the week. If any game this week is ripe for a fucking blowout, it's this one. Detroit coming off their most embarrassing loss in a while, going up against Brian Hoyer and the franchise destroyer, Josh McDaniels. Does anybody give the Raiders a chance on Monday Night Football.
No.
Let me go.
I'm going to pass on this one.
I'm putting Detroit down for both of you guys. I got a feeling if anybody's going to hang a 50 burger on anybody this week, it's going to be Detroit. They're going to be madder than fucking hell that they couldn't score nothing but 2 field goals last week.
One of those 5 wins that the Lions have is against the Chiefs.
Against the Chiefs on opening night when they were hanging their fucking championship banner.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What does that say about Baltimore when they're clicking on all cylinders? So we already knew they had a decent defense, but I didn't know they could play that good.
Yeah.
No, it's the same story every year, Joe. They're great for the first 10 games. It's near the end of the year that Lamar gets hurt, and then they limp into the playoffs, literally limp. And then Jackson either plays and loses or he's out. So this is right on schedule for them. They're fine. They're sticking to their script. So
now, I do have a question about this game.
Okay.
Has any Raiders been arrested this week?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't checked the blotter today. But
okay. But if there hasn't been a Raiders arrest this week, then I don't think they're going to do as well.
Who was the last one got arrested?
Oh, I don't remember. It's just there's several. Raiders always seem to have all the players get arrested.
Wasn't it a coach the last one? Was it the Raiders? Or was that a different team? Wasn't there a coach that would recently? Maybe that was in college.
The last one I saw on the blotter was Olave from the Saints, and it was funny. We showed footage of it during our Thursday night show. Me and my brother. We had actual body cam footage of the cop, and you hear Olave in cuffs. He's putting him in the car, and he says, I play for the Saints. And the cop said, so? No, he said, and?
Well,
it was so fucking funny. Oh, my God.
The Chiefs did have Justin Ross get arrested this week for damage, for tearing up. Yeah, supposedly the alleged thing that happened was apparently his girlfriend saying he drug her around the apartment and broke all her stuff.
Damn. And
I'm like, all right, is there footage of this? Because how much is this? Did he really do that, or did they have a fight? He walks out and she trashes her stuff and then claims that because they know that the Me Too movement will, believe all women, so we got to believe the woman.
Right.
I'm not saying it didn't happen.
No.
I'm just saying there's enough of a doubt that.
By the way, this helmet, this is why I put the Warren Moon on. We're wearing the old schoolers today. What's up? Oh, and speaking of old schoolers, Jason Taylor in the house. We're in the old schooler today.
Go Dolphins.
Yes. But couple of games we got to look at.
The Fins.
Yeah, right. We all picked the Fins. Yes. Yes, we did. By the way, there's a couple of games we got to look at here before next week, because both of them will either be one will have been played and one will be at halftime damn near by the time we have a game.
What is the most boring possible game you can ever
think
of?
The most boring possible
game. You found it, guys. Good job, everybody.
There it is.
Good job, guys. We scheduled the perfect boring game.
Came up with it. Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
Awful.
Fins next week too.
We're going to talk about that here in a second. But yeah, this game, the Titans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh my God, man. You talk about an ugly.
I think there's some college games that are going on that day. I think I'll watch those.
Yeah, this is going to be like watching paint dry, guys. It really is. I think the over-under of this game is probably about 9 points. I don't even think that's in double digits.
Oh, yeah, TCU and Texas Tech. Oh, yeah, that's going to be awesome. That's going to be a great game. South Alabama and Troy, that's a good one for their conference. And Wake Forest and Duke. So, yeah. I mean, seriously, Thursday night play is pretty decent.
Basketball team. Okay.
Battle of the I was going to say, both those are basketball teams. This game's going to have like 3 points.
Oh man. So yeah, that ought to be a barn burner on Thursday, but one that everybody's been looking forward to all year long, taking place in Frankfurt, Germany. Kickoff is 8:30 a.m. Eastern our time, or actually no,
9:30 Eastern.
9:30 Eastern. The Dolphins against the Chiefs, two of the most high-powered offenses in the game, going at it in Frankfurt, Germany. Wow, are they going to be treated to something fun, huh? That is going to be fun to see. Now, this is, it looks great on paper. We've got to see what happens today, see who's healthy, that kind of thing. Let's hope that both of these quarterbacks make it out of today's games without getting hurt, so we can really see them light up.
Totally. Let's totally hope for that.
Because that would be really cool.
No, it'd be a shame if Mahomes was knocked out.
Well, look, Denver fan, I'm talking about as a football fan. We would like to see that. We would like to see the best go against the best, right? But yeah, man, what a game that is going to be. Tyreek Hill against his old team. Are they going to take personally and knock him out of the game? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's that. Something tells me there's going to be a fight or two in this game. I just feel like that. It's the kind of hype they've been having all year for this one.
I would like to point out that the Chiefs are top 5 in every category of the game. The last team that did that was the 1999 Rams. The greatest show on turf.
Yep, that's true. But you know who the fastest team in the NFL is right now?
Yeah, it's the Dolphins.
And who's had the most offense in it has the most offense in the league right now?
All it's the Dolphins. Our quarterbacks are playing clamp football. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're not letting anybody score. So I don't think that it's going to be.
And by the way, Jalen Ramsey comes back today for the Miami Dolphins. He's going to get his legs under him today in his game. I don't know how long Xavier Howard's out for. I don't know how long he's out for the Dolphins. I don't think he's playing today. But if they have Jalen Ramsey and Howard back for that game right there, ooh-wee, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. I'm still going with my Chiefs.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you. I mean, of course you are. And I'll be pulling for the Dolphins, and we're not picking these games. It's just I want to give people a highlight for next week because
we have to pick them because it'll be before our show.
This is true, but
we have to put our picks in before
we get our picks in. We got to see the results of today's game. If Tua gets knocked out today, if he gets his yearly concussion today, I'm not picking Miami this week. You know what I'm saying? So, but I just wanted to highlight those two games. If
Mahomes' quote unquote illness gets more severe,
right,
and he only gets to run for 100 yards.
Could we have more polar opposite games? I mean, we've got a game that's got an over-under of about 9, single-digit over-under, and we may have triple-digit over-under in this one right here. I mean,
yeah, we've got that second game.
It's like a 10-3 game,
right?
It ends up like being like super rainy or something like that.
Right, it's raining
like conditions, and wouldn't that suck if it was like the worst possible weather conditions? I don't know if they have a dome there or not, but if it was like the worst conditions,
I'll bet you it's a soccer field, man. They're playing at, I would imagine. So it's going to be.
Do soccer automatically have domes? I'm not sure.
Deutsche Bank Park is a soccer field.
Yeah,
it's a soccer field.
It's going to be open. Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be okay.
Yep, it's going to be open.
I didn't know the implication of that.
I'm sure they play soccer in a dome somewhere, but most soccer fields are wide open, dude.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, wouldn't that suck?
Yeah, that would suck.
Probably the biggest offensive, game.
It would suck for you. I would love it because I love snow games. And I think it's awesome. That's my kind of football.
But the Germany game is possibly a preview of the AFC Championship game.
It definitely could be.
The only difference is the AFC Championship game will be played at Arrowhead.
Yeah, it has been for the last 5 years. So,
yeah.
And unless your team's called the Bengals, you haven't been able to go in there and win. So,
yeah. Well, even the Bengals can't do it on for.
That's true.
for the big game.
Yeah.
They can do it in the games that don't matter.
Right. Okay, boys and girls, that is it for this week. Any final thoughts out of the panel before we get out of here today? No?
No, it's
dead air on my boys.
Just what about then Kansas?
Why?
Gonna get one more dig in there.
I talked about this at the beginning of the show. What is with the Sooner hate from everybody? We can't win a bowl game. What do you feel so fucking threatened by?
I wasn't giving you any Sooner hate.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Knoxter.
Well, to be fair, next week I'll be talking about how badly Georgia destroyed Mizzou. So, it's not just you.
It's a week by week thing, right?
Yeah. I'm an equal opportunity, griefer. I want everyone to get some.
Every team has an Achilles heel. Georgia's is going to be Mizzou.
Let's hope.
Let's hope. I'm absolutely. I like Cook. I'm absolutely pulling for Mizzou. But so I was pulling for them when they. Who did they lose to?
LSU.
I was watching that game. That was such a good game. I was absolutely pulling for them. That pick six at the end was absolutely heartbreaker. They could have went down they were going down the field on them. It was awesome. It was a very fun game. So I'm all for it. Like I said, I'm always going for the underdog. But Georgia, they just, I don't think they played that great many teams this year, but they keep chugging along. They're just destroying teams that they do play, which they should. So
I'm really interested to watch this kid for Chicago tonight. I think that's the thing I'm looking forward to the most today. After his performance last week, I want to see if it's a trend. I'm looking forward to seeing this because, look, these guys that are undrafted that play well, it opens up opportunities. It's kind of like when Russell, we went and spent a shit pot full of money for that kid that played for LSU in their championship before Joe Burrows. I can't remember his name, but he was, Matt Flynn. We went and spent all that money on Matt Flynn.
Because of his one awesome game at the end of the season that didn't really matter. He threw like 400 yards.
The championship.
Yeah.
Hey, won a ring, all that stuff. And he had played well for the Packers. When Favre had gone down, he had stepped right up and won games for him, And Russell Wilson, God love him, they took him in like the fourth round. And he played so well in the preseason. Third or fourth. Played so well in the preseason, they had no choice but to start him. I mean, and they had the most expensive backup in the league because of it. It was just wild. It really was. So anytime I see one of these guys just step up out of nowhere, I love to see it. I'm rooting for him. Of course, you guys know how I feel about Herbert, but it's just like every other San Diego quarterback. They're going to bust all kinds of records and never do anything because they're fucking hamstruck by a shitty organization.
My favorite type of San Diego quarterback.
I know it. I know you love those guys.
Because I always pick them up in fantasy.
There you go. Pick them up in fantasy. Want them to lose every time, but you want them to lose by about 3 points, right?
Exactly. That's why I always got Phillip Rivers. I did. I always got Phillip Rivers because I always knew that he would fuck it up, but he would still get enough points to do good at my quarterback spot. Nice. It was the perfect storm.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well, listen, I want to thank you guys for being here. Knock, it was nice to see you. I was glad you were able to make it for sure. Yep. We always have a lot more fun when you're here. Not that me and John can't have fun, but it's good to get. Matt, if you're watching out there, we'd love to see you again, man. I hope you're doing well out there, man.
Yeah, luckily there wasn't too much in the college this particular weekend. Most of the ranked teams.
I don't think so. It was most.
Yeah, it was, especially the 1:00 games were all blowouts. It wasn't
the only upset was our loss. So really,
Yeah, and you guys talked about that. That was literally probably the only one I was going to bring up, anyways. So, yep.
All right, guys. Well, you're watching Pregame Party. We do it every Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Time. Now, I'm going to
college playoff rankings next week. We'll get to talk about them.
What's that now?
The college football rankings will be out this Tuesday.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, or the playoff rankings. So those are rankings that matter in college, not the AP stuff. So,
yes. Yeah. The actual playoff rankings. Yes. Mm-hmm. They'll have the first rankings of the top 4. Yeah.
It'll be the top 25.
Right, but I mean, are they going to? Nah. Did they slot them in the top 4 slots for the playoff or no?
I mean, they'll discuss them. Yeah, they'll have. I'm not sure what you're asking.
Well, there's 4.
They're gonna say who the top 4 teams are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But anyway, we're going to cover all that next Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Time. Tomorrow morning on Morning Coffee with Gary, they're doing what movie is it, bud?
The Great Raid.
The Great Raid. They were supposed to do this one, The Firebirds, with Dale Dye, but he can't make it Monday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. But John will be over there on Pop Culture Minefield. I unfortunately won't. I have a huge commission I just picked up on Friday, and it's going to take a lot of my time, so I'll be off the daytime streams for a little bit. But this show comes your way at 10 a.m. Central Time, Morning Coffee with Gary, Military Monday. 10 a.m. Central Time on Pop Culture Minefield's channel. And then at 4 p.m. Central Time, they're going to be doing the Ruddles on It's Only Talk and Roll on That 70s Rock Fans channel at 4 p.m. Central Time. And then I will be back on at 6:30 p.m. Central Time for Chapter 19 of my playthrough of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I'm getting close to the end. From what I understand, I've got one planet to go, and then I think I'll have all my pieces, and I'll be able to finish up the game. I'm not sure. Nock can speak to that better than I can, but I'm actually getting better at it. And
yeah, you are.
I'm only getting killed once a game now, so
yep, you're going to my favorite planet next, so it'll be fun.
Very cool. Well, that's if that tweener can save me from jail, but we'll find out.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, 6:30 Central Time on Monday, and I have to work. My job is undermanned right now, so I have to work Halloween night. So I'm moving up my Halloween special, Papa Joe Gamer After Dark, to midnight on Halloween morning. That'll be Monday at 12 midnight. So Tuesday morning at 12 a.m. basically right there. I've got to work Halloween night. So I definitely want to do this stream though, because I love playing Beyond Two Souls. I'm going to play some of the scarier chapters of it. And that'll be at midnight on Monday.
I'm going to try and make both of them, but this is my last week for my starting Monday and Tuesday. I'm in my last week for my masters, so that means I've got to pull all my stuff together for the last paper. So I don't know how much time I'm going to have to make it, but if I feel I'm in a good place after I finish today, I'll be there. But,
okay, Bo.
How's that paper on Taylor Swift going? Is that
Stop it. Next up, Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Central Time in the evening. You can check us all out on State of the Atmosphere, where we talk about pop culture. This week, Nock, we're going to introduce you to our favorite comedies of all time to add to your
Okay. I'm actually 2 hours into Apocalypse Now. Right now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Are you enjoying that one,
I gotta tell you, dude. I haven't seen Martin Sheen's earlier work.
Yeah.
If there was any ever, I doubt there ever was, but there's any doubt that Charlie Sheen was his son.
Oh, come on, bro.
It's impossible. And what's his other brother? Is that Emilio Estevez?
Emilio Estevez. Yeah.
I see them both. I see them both in him. And it's insane.
Mark Sheen has got some serious genes, bro.
And that movie is absolutely insane. I'm all for it. It's a great movie. Fantastic. I just, I was so tired last night that I didn't watch the whole thing, but it'll be watched before Wednesday for sure.
Keep your eyes open.
Others that you watched?
What? You spoke at the same time.
Oh, sorry. I said any of the others that you've watched, or is that the only one you've watched this week?
I feel like I watched another one. I'm also trying to watch that Panderverse South Park episode because
God,
I've been seeing nothing clips of it all week. So I started watching that this morning while I was at IHOP.
Hilarious.
Breakfast, but let's see. Let me double check real quick.
But keep your eyes open in Apocalypse Now for a very, very young, very, very skinny Lawrence Fishburne.
Yep.
He's on.
Well, I saw what's his name? Han Solo in there as well.
Oh yeah, Harrison Ford's in the opening
Ford at the beginning
where they go to.
American Werewolf in London. I did watch that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I have in fact seen American Werewolf in Paris. I know that was the later one.
Yeah.
Because I remember the scene in the lady.
American Werewolf in London is definitely the better one.
Yeah, but yeah, no. Any dream that has Nazi werewolves shooting up the family was just absolutely hilarious. I was all for it. But no, I'm Apocalypse Now, and then the other one I plan to try to watch before Wednesday is Network. Is the next one.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
So those are the three.
Well,
big ones.
Tune in Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Central Time to get his takes on those. It's the knock list is us introducing knock to some of the best stuff that we've seen in our long lifetimes. He's about halfway through as long as we've been watching movies.
And you watched Loki yet, you guys?
Yeah.
I have not watched I don't watch Loki until right before I go to air.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. But anyway, that's at 5:30 p.m. Central Time on Monday. And then of course on Thursday, usually we do The Brothers Hack the Matrix, today's headlines, but it won't be on this week. I have to work Thursday night. Like I said, we're undermanned at work, so I have to do a lot of overtime this week. But that comes your way at 6 p.m. On Thursday nights regularly, and we will be back in a week with that one. And then, of course, Sketching the Privateer comes your way on Saturdays at 1:30 p.m. Central Time, me creating my comic book from the ground up. So, for myself and John Das Wolfen and my man Knock, I want to thank you guys for being here. I want you all to enjoy today's games. I'm fixing to go in there and check out kickoff of mine, and I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you here next weekend at 10 a.m. Central Time for NFL Pregame Party. And until then, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. God bless.